Okay, so let's do a run through of our wall section, right? So first thing we're going to do is select what do we want to do an estimation and takeoff for, right? And in this section, the things we can estimate are our studs, our plates, insulation, and drywall. So select that here, whichever you want to do a takeoff for. So we'll just go ahead and do everything. Remember, our yellow section will be our input section, and the only areas that we need to input information are white and light blue. Light blue will be a drop-down menu. White will be something you have to enter in manually. So let's look at a house like this, right? Let's take a two-story, right, gabled house. Simple gable, 2 stories, and this will be the floor plan right here. So first thing we need to decide is, are the ceiling heights going to be the same on both floors, right? If they are, then we don't have to do it. We do not have to check this box. But if they're different, then you have to check this box. So let's say, let's go, we have 8 foot, let's say we have 9 feet on the first floor and 8 feet on the second floor, right? So first thing is, default is going to be 2x6 wall for our exterior wall, right? So this will just be our exterior walls right here, and this will be our interior walls down here. So default is going to be 2x6 walls, 16 on center. If that's not the case, then just check these boxes accordingly. So for the first floor, we said is going to be 8-foot ceilings, and second floor is going to be 9-foot ceilings. Now, what is the total number of exterior doors? Right? So this is important because we're going to want to add extra studs for our king and jack studs, right? So the default of this section is going to be over here. We're going to add 3 studs per window, 2 studs per door, and 1 stud per corner. And you can change that to your heart's desire, but that's what's going to come default. So first thing we do is count up how many exterior windows and doors we have. So we have 2 windows in the front, 1 on the side, and so let's say that's 3. Let's say we have 6 total on the first floor, 6 on the second floor. Total number of exterior doors will be 2, and 0 on the second floor, right? So the type of roof and the roof pitch are important, right? Because our walls are not all going to be square, right? So this wall will be square on our eaves, but this wall right here is not going to be square. So we have to let BuildCalc know, hey, what is the shape of these rake walls or end walls, right? So if you have questions about that, click this question mark. This goes into further detail about rake wall and how that is incorporated into this spreadsheet. So the type of roof, we have on this house is going to be a gable roof, and a roof pitch, let's say it's going to be a 12 pitch, right? So let's pull up our floor plan, and so our exterior walls will have 2 at 31 feet and 2 at 16, right? 16 feet here, 16 feet here, 31 feet, and 31 feet. So we'll go 31 feet, 31 feet, 16, 16, right? Now, are either of those going to be a rake wall? The answer is a rake wall is going to be a wall that is going to be shaped like this if it's a gable wall, or like this if it's a shed wall. Now, since we're just the first floor, right, these walls right here will just be squares, right? So that'll just be square, square, so they won't be a rake wall. But if we go into our second floor, our exterior walls are going to be the same length, right? Make sure we click that, 16 feet and 16 feet, right? Now the reason that we check this box right here is because it's going to tell the spreadsheet that, hey, these are the second floor, and on the second floor, these ceiling heights are 9 feet, right? So we got to make sure that for these walls right here, we're calculating studs to give us a 9-foot ceiling. Now, if your structure was the same, the ceilings were the same height in both first and second floor, you don't need to click this, right? You can just put in all your exterior walls. The question is now that we're up on our second floor, right? what are either of these walls going to be our rake wall? Are either of these walls going to be this wall right here? And the answer is yes. Our two 16-foot walls are going to be rake walls, right? They're going to have this shape. They're going to have this shape, right? So we just go to our 16-foot and we make sure we click our rake walls, right? If you have further questions about that, once again, click this question mark. So now you can see we're going to have all our studs that we need and our plates for our exterior walls, right? And that's accounting for the odd-shaped rake walls as well. So let's move down into our interior walls. Our interior walls are going to be 2x6 or 2x4 walls, 16 on center, right? So once again, our ceiling height's going to be the same, right? Our first floor will be 8 feet, the second floor will be 9 feet. Total number of interior doors, let's pull up, because once again, we want to, every time the amount of doors we put in are going to add extra studs. It's going to add 2 extra studs per door for our jack studs, right? So if we pull up this, we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 interior, 5 interior doors, right? On the first floor, we'll say it's the same on the second floor. We'll say it's the exact same layout top to bottom, just for this example's sake, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to want to put in our interior walls, right? So we have a, let's say this is a 8-foot wall and that this is a 5-foot wall, right? So we're going to have 2 8-foot walls right here and a 5-foot wall. So you just go around and you just put, you just go and you type in whatever your length of your interior walls are going to be. And if, you know, just once again, mark whether or not these are second floor walls or first floor walls. Only if, once again, only if you have different ceiling heights on the first and second floor. If not, then you don't need to do this, right? You just click, you keep this button, and you can see that this is not even an option, right? So once you've gone ahead and you've put in, you know, you've gone down, you've put in all your interior walls, and then these are, let's say these are on the second floor. We can scroll over and we can see all the studs we have and all the plates that we need, right? Now, this system is going to optimize the number of plates and the number of studs for the least amount of weight, right? So it's only going to give you what's necessary. So a lot of times you're going to get sort of different you know, plate lengths based on the number of walls. Now this is really useful if you're framing up like something small like a shed, so you don't have like extra lumber or you're doing a small project. But if you're doing a big project like this, you're probably just going to want to get all the same lumber. So just click whichever lumber that size you want for your plates, which probably will be 16, right? So if you click that right here, it'll just make all our plates 16 feet, right? If we go into our final summary tab, you can see this is going to have all this information kind of summed up. And this is where we can change the material, right? Any amount. So let's say for our woods, we have two studs, we have 2x4x8, and it says we need 45. If we want 50 of them, we just type in 50 there, and it's going to calculate that accordingly. If we want to change these to 2x4x10s, right, we would just come right here, click 2x4x10, it'll change that materially right there. That's it.